Alright, good evening, folk. It's your boy Screwface Capone in the house, and I'm actually doing a live read of this Activision lawsuit document. This is the case file for the Activision Blizzard Lawsuit. I'm going to add some of my own commentary. And what I'm actually doing is I'm recording this on my computer, because I'm actually going to make a YouTube video out of it and add some additional material. But if you are watching this and you want to chime in, then just feel free to drop in and let me know. Alright, so, obviously I can't, show the whole thing on live, but, I'm just gonna, so, if you'll be watching, you're probably watching a YouTube video right now, so obviously I'm gonna just show it in the, other screen. So, anyway, here's this. For those of you who are familiar, Activision Blizzard is being sued for multiple counts for sexual harassment and discrimination. And warning, there is a strong trigger warning, because what I'm about to go through is about multiple counts of sexual harassment and in one case even even SUICID, because I don't know how YouTube's going to announce the algorithm. Alright, so anyway, Department of Fair Employment and Housing and Agency of the State of California versus Activision Blizzard Incorporated. Blizzard Entertainment Incorporated and Activision Publishing, Inc. does 1 through 10 exclusive. Case number 221STCV26571. Civil Rights Complaint and Equal Pay Act compliant for injunctive and monetary relief and damages. Jury trial demanded. Plaintiff Department of Fair Employment and Housing, DFEH, an agency of the state of California, brings this action in its own name to remedy violations of the California Fair Employment and Housing Act, Government Code 12900 et square FEHA, as well as, if you drop in and you want to speak, then let me know, as well as the California Equal Pay Act, Labor Code Section 11795, by defendant Activision Blizzard Incorporated, Blizzard Entertainment, and Activision Publishing. So I'll read all that. Introduction. Headquartered in California since the 1970s, where the nation's strongest anti-harassment, equal pay, and other employment opportunity protections exist for employees, defendants should be a safe haven workplace in the video game industry. Sexism has plagued the male-dominated gaming industry for decades, and increasingly so in recent years. Women and girls now make up half the gamers in America, but the gaming industry continues to cater to men, even now in California. Activision Blizzard's double-digit growth, 10% annual revenues, and recent diversity marketing campaigns have unfortunately changed little. To enforce such compliance, DFEH brings this government-enforced action seeking to remedy, prevent, and deter defendants' violations of the state's civil rights and equal pay laws to vindicate the rights of defendants, female employees, and the public interests of the state of California. Activision Blizzard is headquartered in Santa Monica, California. It is one of the largest video game developers and distributors, with approximately 9,500 employees and over 100 million players worldwide. It is considered a leading gaming platform in the Western world and is a member of the Fortune 500 and S&P 500. Activision Blizzard conducts business through its subsidiaries, Blizzard Entertainment, King Digital, Activision Publishing, among others. Activision Blizzard also operates global esports organizations Overwatch League and Call of Duty League. The video game franchise Call of Duty is Activision Publishing's key product. Blizzard Entertainment maintains the online gaming service Battle.net, which includes key franchises such as World of Warcraft, Diablo, and Overwatch. So that's the introductory part for those of you watching who aren't as familiar with Activision as a lot of us are. So here's part 3 of the introduction, and we got a lot to go through. I think this document is about 29 pages long. I won't go over all of it, obviously. And I'll put a link in the YouTube description if you want to read the document on your own time. So number 3, unlike its customer base of increasingly diverse players, defendant's workforce is only about 20% women. Its top leadership is also exclusively male and white. The CEO and president roles are now and have always been held by white men. Very few women ever reach top roles at the company. The women who do reach higher roles are less salary, incentive pay, and total compensation than their male peers, as evidenced in the defendant's own records. So yeah, of course, there's a summary compensation table of their top executives, including CEO Robert Kotick, Dennis Durham, and amongst others. Some of the disparities exist throughout the company. Like the executive ranks, women across the company are assigned to lower paid and lower opportunity levels. Female employees receive lower starting pay and also earn less than male employees for substantially similar work. Defendants promote women slowly and terminate them more quickly than their male counterparts. Faced with such adverse terms and conditions of employment, many women have been forced to leave the company. I'm not surprised by that. But I was stopping through, I am reading the Activision Lawsuit document. It's the document that's being, it's basically the state of California suing Activision, and I'm going to be reading through it, and I was recording some footage for YouTube. So, right now I just started, I'm reading the intro. So if you feel like asking me anything, then feel free to stop me at any time. Alright, defendants have also fostered a pervasive frat boy workplace culture that continues to thrive. In the office, women are subjected to cube crawls in which male employees drink copious amounts of alcohol as they crawl their way through various cubicles in the office and often engage in inappropriate behavior toward female employees. Male employees probably come into work hungover, play video games for long periods of time during work while delegating their responsibilities to female employees, engage in banter about their sexual encounters, talk openly about female bodies, and joke about RAPE. Unsurprisingly, defendants' frat boy culture is a breeding ground for harassment and discrimination against women. Female employees are subject to constant sexual harassment, including continually having to fend off unwanted sexual comments and advances by their male co-workers and supervisors, and being groped after cube crawls and other company events. High-ranking executives and creators engage in blatant sexual harassment without repercussions. In a particularly tragic example, and this is the part where I want to put in a trigger warning, a female employee committed suicide during a business trip with a male supervisor who had bought butt plugs and lubricant with him on the trip. Defendants continuously condone the quid pro quo and hostile work environment. The message is not lost on their employees. Now, one thing I like to point out that these allegations are just that, allegations. I wasn't there, but then again, given the amount of testimonies and given what's coming out since then, and also noticing similar trends happening in other industries, then I don't doubt that this is the case. So again, I'm just reading this, and I want you all to make up your own minds about this. Numerous complaints about unlawful harassment, discrimination, and retaliation were made to defendants, human resources personnel, and executives, including the Blizzard presidents J. Allen Brack. But defendants failed to take remedial measures in response to these complaints. Employees were further discouraged from complaining as human resource personnel were known to be close to alleged harassers. An internal investigation into the human resource unit noted that there was a big lack of trust and that HR not held in high regard. Unsurprisingly, employees' complaints were treated in a perfunctory and dismissive manner and not kept confidential. As a result of these complaints, female employees were subjected to retaliation, including but not limited to being deprived on work projects, unwillingly transferred to different units, and selected for layoffs. So, if you're familiar with this kind of industry, and hello, one viewer, if you're familiar with this kind of industry, then no doubt that such things sound familiar. They'll report on these things, and then when they speak up on it, then there's some point of retaliation. Plaintiff TFEH, an agency of the state of California, brings its enforcement action against defendants in his prosecutor role. Hey, no, I'm not EDP 445, thank you very much. I was not caught for child molestation or trying to solicit, but Thanks anyway. Plaintiff DFEH, an agency of the state of California, brings this enforcement action against defendants in his prosecutorial role, seeking relief in the public interest for the state and for defendants, female employees of the group, pursuant to the authority vested in the DFEH under FEHA, Government Code Section 12900 at SEQ and related laws. DFEH enforcement action seeks to remedy, prevent, and deter unlawful harassment, retaliation, and discrimination. Specifically, the violations pled herein include claims for sex discrimination in terms and condition of employment, including compensation, assignment, promotion, constructive dialogue, termination, unlawful sexual harassment, retaliation, failure to prevent discrimination, harassment and retaliation, and unequal pay. So again, this is just the whole specifics. The Department of Fair Employment and Housing of California, they're saying that these allegations are a violation of Code 112.900, which are there to prevent unlawful discrimination practices against employees. So now we're going to come to the parties section, in which names the people involved in the lawsuit. So it's basically just mentioning what we are just mentioned, and what we already know from the first couple of sections. The Department of Fair Employment Housing and Activision themselves. So I think I'll skip over that. And again, when you hit YouTube, I'll just put them over. Do I support EDP 445? No, I do not. I think trying to solicit sex from minors is just gross and nasty and horrible. It is a horrible thing to do. So no, I do not support EDP 445, and I didn't even know who he was until I heard about the allegations. But back to the subject. All right. So again, I'm going through the parties, and again, this is just named the defendants and the I'm trying to think. The defendants and the plaintiff, procedural history, jurisdictions, and venue. The DFEH incorporates and realleges all previous allegations, as if fully set forth herein. Venue is proper in the County of Los Angeles under Government Code 12965 subdivision, as the unlawful practices complaint of this complaint occurred in the County of Los Angeles. DFEH director, in his or her discretion, may file a complaint on behalf of a group or class. Pursuant to this authority, DFEH Director Kevin Kish filed and served a complaint of group or systematic investigation and director's complaint for group class relief against Blizzard Entertainment on October 12, 2018. So, this has been going on in a while. So apparently, DFEH, and I don't know a whole lot about like legal stuff, but apparently, like the DFEH has been looking into this since at least 2018. So that's almost 3 years. On October 29, 2018, an amended director's complaint was filed and served to add Activision Blizzard Incorporated. On December 12th, Diaries of Holy Night. Thanks a lot. Glad to see that. And thanks for the trophies, too. But I'm glad you're here. So, let's continue. So yeah, again, if you want to ask me anything, then, as you guys want to keep it appropriate, then, feel free to interrupt me at any time. I'm reading through this document. And no, I am not related to EDP, nor do I know him, and, nor do I like him. Yeah, I mean, like, this has all been like, so basically, it's been like allegations of discrimination and, sexual harassment against female employees who worked at Activision and Blizzard. There's been a lot about it in the media these past few days. And it's not just Activision too; it's other companies that are in the gaming industry. We've heard about stuff from Ubisoft years ago. I think there were similar allegations with developer Quantic Dream, and who knows what else is going to pop up. Yeah, definitely. And I think Activision needs to go, and Activision needs to go down with them. And one thing I want to point out is that we've heard from Bobby Kotick and I mean not Bobby Kotick, J. Allen Brack and what's his name? The ex Blizzard boss, Mike Morhaime, the ex founder of Blizzard. But we haven't heard anything from Kotick yet. And to me, he's feeding all these studios, and he's the head honcho, taking like millions. But I'm going to go ahead and continue. The director's complaints allege that the defendants engage in discrimination against their employees on the basis of sex, gender, including failure to hire, select, or employ persons because of their sex, as well as discriminating in composition or in terms, conditions, privileges of employment due to their sex. The director's complaints further allege that defendants failed to take all reasonable steps to prevent unlawful discrimination and harassment or retaliation. And I don't know if you were here earlier or if you know about this part, Diaries, but one of the incidents that happened, and this is a bit triggering, is that one female employee apparently took her own life while she was actually out on an outing with a male employee, and this male employee had apparently bought like various sex toys with him. So yeah, right, yeah, because yeah, that's one thing that'll also be coming out throughout the next few days too. But yeah, it's getting pretty nasty, and I think like of all the scandals that have popped up, this is probably one of the worst. All right. So after more than 2 years of investigation, DFEH issued a cause finding on June 24th, 2021. Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people in there felt in prison. And I think one thing, like and I know a lot of people will ask why people didn't speak up earlier, but I think the reason is that it's one of these situations where, Activision being as big as it is and Blizzard being what it is, if you go out and you mention this stuff, then you could get blackballed from the industry, especially in this kind of space. But yeah, after more than 2 years of investigation, DFEH issued a cause finding on June 24th, 2021. In the course of DFEH's investigation, DFEH found evidence that defendants discriminated against female employees in terms of employment, including compensation, assignment, promotion, termination, constructive discharge, and retaliation. DFEH's investigation also found that female employees were subject to sexual harassment. DFEH's investigation found that defendants failed to take all reasonable steps to prevent unlawful discrimination, harassment, or retaliation. Lastly, DFEH, and that's the Department of, I don't want to scroll back up and read it. Or you know what, I'll just do it anyway. And DFEH is the Department of Fair Employment and Housing, by the way. That's what I mean when I say that. Where was I at? Judicial History and Venue. Thanks. Glad to hear that. I guess somebody's got to bring it out. There. Might as well be me. I know I don't have that big of an audience, and pretty much one of the reasons I'm doing this, besides trying to shed a light, is just to create more content. But at the same time, I think you got to put like a lot of lights on this because you got guys like Jim Sterling and Yang Ye who also speak on this stuff. My audience isn't as big as they are, but at the same time, every one drop. When you're talking about oceans, every one drop is responsible for that. So where was I at? Also found that female. Okay, DFEH's investigation found that defendants failed to take all reasonable steps to prevent unlawful discrimination, harassment, or retaliation. Lastly, DFEH's investigation, hopefully, or found that defendants had committed violations of Labor Code section 1197.5 and paying female employees less than their male counterparts for substantially similar work. These claims are alleged and reasonably related to and like the claims originally alleged in the director's complaints. DFEH attempted to resolve this matter without litigation. Prior to filing the civil action, DFEH required all employees to participate in a mandatory dispute resolution in the department's internal dispute resolution free of charge to the parties in an effort to resolve the dispute without litigation. Specifically, DFEH invited defendants to participate in a mediation session with the department's internal dispute resolution division on July 1st, 2nd, and 15th, 2021. But the parties were unable to resolve the administrative complaints. And that's actually, and that's the thing right there. Like, this probably wouldn't even came out at all if they had done the right thing. Like, as recently as last week, they were trying to resolve this internally without having to go through this. But now that this has come out, now that that failed, this is going to come out, and this is going to get, it's going to get uglier from here going forward. So, back to our subject. In the case of claim to failure to eliminate an unlawful practice through conference, conciliation, meditation, or persuasion, or advance thereof, if circumstances warrant, the DFEH may bring a civil action in the name of the department in state federal courts. All administrative procedures precedent to the institution of this lawsuit have been fulfilled. So basically, these next two lines basically talk about like how they just went through the, sir, what's up, Andrew? What's good? SOR. Hello. Hi, Darius. So, thanks for joining. So for those of you just joining, I'm reading through this, Activision Blizzard Lawsuit document and just adding in some documentation. I'm on page 9, and I just read through the part where they just talked about going through the procedures. So stick around and feel free to, and if you want to ask any questions or say anything, then feel free to interrupt me at any time. I'm going to be here for a while, obviously. So yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for the follow. But yeah, like I said, I'm going through the Activision Blizzard lawsuit document. If you don't know, they're being sued for, sexual harassment and stuff. But again, if you got anything to ask me or if you anything you want to say, just keep it cool. But feel free to interrupt me at any time. So we're down to the government enforcement action allegations. So this will actually be on YouTube, so you'll actually be able to see the document while hey, what's up, hot sauce? What's good? I'm basically reading through the Activision document. The Activision Blizzard document about the lawsuit and adding in some commentary. So we're just going to go through this and 1 second. I'm getting thirsty, so I need some root beer. I got a little mini fridge in my little home apartment audience. Alright, so I don't know how familiar you are with this lawsuit, but what it is that basically Activision Blizzard is a piece of shit company, and their ex-employees are suing, and the state of California is suing them for discrimination. So right now we are on the government enforcement actions and allegations. DFEH brings this government enforcement action for group relief on behalf of itself in the public interest and aggrieved female employees, the group, pursuant to Government Code Sections 12961 and 12965. So a lot of this is just boring government code stuff, so I'm just going to try to read it dramatically. I'm also going to put this on YouTube, too, so you can see me read along the thing while I'm speaking with you guys. And, of course, the people watching me on YouTube will look at me crazy. Can I be a moderator? Sure. How do you assign it? Moderators. ELLSIC. Alright, since you asked. Got a song request. Nah, buddy. I'm actually gonna post this video on YouTube, so I really can't. I'm really not trying to get anything that'll give me copyright strikes. All right, so back to the document. DFEH authority to seek relief on behalf of itself in the public interest and the group stems a delegation of the power by the legislator authorizing DFEH to initiate a complaint and self-investigate claims and prosecute such claims under FEHA. Complaint on behalf of the department seeking relief for a group of persons adversely affected in a similar manner by an alleged unlawful practice. Any complaint so may be investigated as a group or class complaint, and if in the judgment of the director circumstances warrant, some good ass root beer, shall be treated as such for purposes of conciliation, dispute resolution, and civil action. Pursuant to such statutory authorities, DFEH's director filed and gave notice to the defendants that this was a group or class compiled for purposes of investigation, mediation, and civil action. DFEH investigated and attempted to mediate the group or class complaint with defendants, and after failure to eliminate the unlawful practice through mediation or in advance thereof, if circumstances warrant, the DFEH filed a civil action seeking to remedy the group or class violations in this court. DFEH brought this government enforcement action in its own name pursuant to express statutory authority from the legislator. The legislator authorized DFEH to proceed on a group or class basis in a civil action. DFEH government enforcement action seeks to remedy, prevent, or deter that pattern or practice of unlawful discrimination and other violations, disparate impact of discrimination, and continuing violations that defendants engage in agreed female employees. DFEH brings the representative enforcement action in its capacity as a state agency and the authority vested in the DFEH by FEHA, which does not require classification under Code of Civil Procedure Sections 378 and 382. People versus Pacific Land Reservation Company, 1977. An action filed by the people seeking injunction relief and civil penalties is fundamentally a law enforcement action designed to protect the public and not to benefit private parties, and that such cases, the seeking of monetary remedies was not the primary object of the suit, as it is in most private actions. Department of Fair Housing, Employee Housing versus Law School Admission Council, Supra 924, and all right. So basically, they're just detailing their efforts and what's going down, and their intent, because this didn't go through the way they needed it to, they're just going to transfer it to the lawsuit. So we are here and the factual allegations, and this is where things get juicy. Alright, so for those of you again watching, I'm going through the Activision Blizzard lawsuit allegation documents, and I'm recording it for YouTube, and I'm giving my own little commentary. So if you want to ask me or say anything, then feel free to interrupt me at any time. We are going to be here for a while. So let's see. Factual allegations. DFEH incorporates and realleges all previous allegations as if fully set forth herein. Sex discrimination, pay, assignment, promotion, termination, and constructive discharge. Defendants have engaged and continue to perpetrate discriminatory practices regarding pay, assignment, promotion, and other terms and conditions of employment which negatively affect and impact female employees. These discriminatory practices began at higher when women were offered lower compensation and less lucrative job assignments and opportunities than their male counterparts. Defendants paid female employees significantly less in starting pay than their male counterparts at higher. This pattern or practice and violations were continuing. The pay disparity continued throughout employment for female employees. Defendants paid female employees significantly less than their male counterparts after hire. This pattern or practice and violations were continuing. Women were also offered less stock and incentive pay opportunities. Female employees were overwhelmingly assigned to lower grades, levels without stock and incentive pay opportunities, or less opportunities. Female employees also received less stock and incentive compensation than male employees. This pattern of practice and violations were continuing. So basically this stuff is going over what we already discussed earlier. We're just going in more detail of it. Right now I'm at page 11 of 29 of page 29. So like I said, we're going to be here for a little bit. Women were steered into lower levels of the defendant's hierarchy and often had to work harder and longer to earn equal promotional and other opportunities as their male counterparts. As an example, a female employee working for Blizzard Entertainment was assigned to a lower level role, denied equal pay, and subsequently sought a promotion because she had been carrying out duties exceeding her job description. She was ultimately told it was not her turn and others deserved a promotion ahead of her. Ultimately, the employee was promoted after 3 years, while her male counterpart was promoted within a year of hire, despite having started several months after her. Her male counterpart was also assigned leadership responsibilities, which she was not afforded, responsibilities which further male employees' ability to get promoted. So you can imagine that, working there for like 3 years and not getting promoted and seeing somebody above you do get promoted. That there could be a question of, if it was a performance issue, but then again, nope. But how you gonna have somebody work for 3 years and not at least bump their pay up scale a little bit, I've also been in a situation myself where, the last employer I worked at before this one, I was there for 2 years and I received like 1 pay raise, so that's something else though. In another example, a female employee who worked at Blizzard Entertainment was assigned to a lower level, denied equal pay, and passed over for a promotion despite multiple factors that suggested she earned it. Highly rated performance reviews. She generated significantly more revenue in her marketing campaigns than her male counterpart. She ran almost twice as many campaigns as her male counterpart. Despite her accomplishments, her male counterpart was invited to have monthly or weekly one-on-one meetings with the vice president. Ain't that a bitch? She was not afforded these same opportunities and unsurprisingly passed over for a promotion in favor of her male counterparts. Similarly, other female employees at Blizzard Entertainment were assigned to lower-level roles, denied equal pay, and further delayed or passed over for promotions in favor of male counterparts who lacked the same experience or qualifications but who were friends with the male-headed unit. Newly promoted male supervisor delegated his responsibilities to his now female subordinates in favor of Call of Duty. Other male supervisors would refuse to communicate with female employees, going to their male counterparts for information. So, yeah. Again, we're treating the allegations as just that, allegations, but I have no reason not to believe them. And again, you can see a pattern here. Female employees at Activision Publishing were also assigned to lower-level roles, denied equal pay, and delayed or passed over for promotion to their male counterparts. As an example, okay, my brain's not working right. Time to hit some more root beer. Shit. That is some good-ass root beer. Alright, let's start over again. Female employees at Activision Publishing were also assigned to lower-level roles, denied equal pay, and delayed or passed over for promotions of their male counterparts. As an example, a female human resources employee at Activision Publishing was delayed. And and passed over for a promotion despite receiving positive performance reviews, doing substantial more work than her male counterpart, and taking over the actual responsibilities of the departing person. Female accounting employees at Activision Publishing likewise note that male counterparts were paid significantly more than, despite, thanks a lot, big lads. Note that male counterparts were paid significantly more than, despite doing the same or less work, and having less responsibilities. So yeah, I'm just going through this legal document, so feel free to interrupt me at any time. Like I keep saying, I'm going to be here for a while, so if you got anything you want to ask or anything you want to say, as long as you ain't trolling, then feel free to stop me and interrupt me at any time. Female employees were also not promoted because of defendants' discriminatory practices against pregnant female employees. A female employee working on one game team has assumed some of the responsibilities of a manager. Hey, Daddy, what's up? Of a manager, but when she asked her male supervisor about being paid fairly for the work she was actually doing and promoted into that position, the manager commented that they could not risk promoting her as she might get pregnant and like being a mom too much. In general, female employees were treated negatively due to their pregnancies. Supervisors ignored medical restrictions given to female employees and gave them negative evaluations when they were out on maternity leave. Other female employees reported that they were criticized for leaving to pick up their children from daycare while their male counterparts were playing video games, and female employees were kicked out of the lactation rooms so employees could use the room for their meetings. Yeah, so work-life balance and maternity leave is a huge, big button issue. So, and now we're here about Blizzard trashing female employees who are get pregnant and have families, and that's kind of cutting into that. So, needless to say, what's it about? So basically, we're going over the Activision Blizzard lawsuit. So for those just joining and for those unaware, the state of California is suing Activision Blizzard over discriminatory practices toward women. And you guys weren't here earlier, but allegedly, one particular woman had took her own life while on a outing with a male employee. Thank you very much, Gio's Play Baseball 99. Thanks. Yeah, so like we're going over the lawsuit document, and right now we're going deep into the allegations. So, stick around and you'll probably learn some stuff about the game industry and how it treats people. Women of color were particularly vulnerable targets of defendants' discriminatory practices. An African-American woman noted that it took her 2 years to be made into a permanent employee, while men hired after her were made permanent employees. She was also micromanaged such that her male co-workers were known to be playing video games without any intervention by her supervisor, but her supervisor would call and check on her if she took a break to go on a walk. Another African-American employee who worked on information technology was similarly micromanaged by her manager, unlike the men on her team. When she requested time off of work, her manager made her write a one-page summary of how she would spend that time off of work when no one else had to do any write-up. The male supervisor also criticized her body language despite male counterparts slouching in meetings, and she was scolded for asking for assistance while others could get help on similar tasks without the same criticism. These experiences led female employees to leave their employment with defendants. By the way, UWV Discord, thanks for sharing the live video. I appreciate that. Let's get this thing out there because this is some really important stuff. This is the Activision Blizzard lawsuit. So again, if you're just joining in, I'm reading through this legal document, and I'm on page 13 of 29. So we're going to be here for a while. So if you got anything you want to say or anything you want to ask me, then feel free to interrupt me at any time. I'm also recording this for YouTube, so I'll have it posted either tomorrow afternoon or Monday morning, but you'll be able to watch the whole thing and see the document while I read on it. So definitely follow me on YouTube. The name is Screwface Capone. I got a lot of other gaming related stuff too. All right, so yeah, but back to this document. Um, and thank you, LMAO. It's JJ. I appreciate that a lot. Um, so good. Thanks, hot sauce. But yeah, so out of all my years in the workplace, oh yeah, definitely. Out of all my years in the workplace, whenever I had to file for PTO time, never once do I ever remember having to answer like why I had to why I was taking time off. If anything, they would ask me afterward like how I what I did, if I did anything for my time off, but that's about it. You got this guy going on like just micromanaging this person, and when she's asking for time off, they made her write a summary of like why she wants to take time off. I mean, why is that important? What is it your business? I need to take some goddamn time off, so I'm gonna take some fucking time off, you know? Alright. Back to the document. As a result of the discriminatory pay, assignment, and promotion and other practices, defendant pay gap is significant. Defendants paid female employees significantly less in base pay and total compensation than their male counterparts. This pattern or practice and violations were continuing. When women complained to human resource personnel about the lack of equal employment opportunities, especially in comparison to their male counterparts, the complaints fell on deaf ears and were met with an empty promise to investigate the issue. Indeed, despite having retained Paul Hastings LLP, hello, Vibin Gamer, from 2015 to 2017, and Miller Law Group in 2018, to allegedly provide analysis related to compensation data. Hello, Vibin, and thanks for sharing the live video. Defendants failed to take effective and reasonable steps to prevent pay discrimination, as the pay disparity between male and female employees was not remedied and continued. So, once again, apparently I'm everyone's father right now. And, thanks for the rose. All right, I'm back. I made the brilliant. I had the brilliant of that idea of streaming this live on TikTok as I was reading it, and you saw some results of that earlier during the thing. But there were some technical difficulties, so I decided to just go back to recording this. I'm gonna have to do some editing for it anyway, so let's continue. I also got some water because I need to stay hydrated. As a result of these discriminatory practices, female employees were forced to leave their employment with defendants. For example, female employees are noted that they accepted less compensation than they were making in their prior employment, or offered by other companies to work for defendants with the hollow promise that they would get promoted or get other forms of compensation to make up the difference. They never made up ground and instead had to watch as male comparators were promoted more quickly and offered more compensation, forcing him to leave the company. Additionally, defendants terminated female employees more quickly than their male counterparts. This pattern or practice and violations were continuing. In sum, defendants' discriminatory practices adversely affected women in compensation, assignment, promotion, and termination. Defendants failed to take effective steps to remedy or adequately correct its compensation disparities, despite its awareness that such disparities existed. Defendants' discriminatory practices continue to the date of this complaint. So this is just going over like all the stuff that we've already been discussing, and it goes into greater detail. So basically, there's been a lot of harassment, and like there's a lot of quid pro quo harassment going on, and a lot of that is a part of what they're being sued over. Eight glasses a day, and it's healthier than root beer. Sexual harassment, and now we're going to go into the really juicy stuff. The female employees almost universally confirmed that working for defendants was akin to working in a frat house, which invariably involved male employees drinking and subjecting female employees to sexual harassment with no repercussion. Cube crawls in defendants' offices were common, and male employees came into work hungover. They mentioned this above, but now we're going to go into greater detail. Similarly, male employees would play video games during work, engage in banter about their sexual encounters, talk openly about female bodies, and make numerous jokes about RAPE. As a product of this frat boy culture, women were subjected to numerous sexual comments and advances, groping and unwanted physical touching, and other forms of harassment. A female employee noted that random male employees would approach her on the defendant's work site and comment on her breast. Female employees working for the World of Warcraft team noted that the male employees and supervisors would hit on them, make derogatory comments about rape, and otherwise engage in demeaning behavior. This behavior was known to supervisors and indeed encouraged by them, including a male supervisor openly encouraging a male subordinate to buy a prostitute to cure his bad mood. Okay, wow, huh. In a blatant example of the defendant's refusal to deal with harassment of his seniority position, Alex Afrasi, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, the former senior creative director of World of Warcraft at Blizzard, was permitted to engage in blatant sexual harassment with little to no repercussions. During a company event, an annual convention called BlizzCon, Afrasiabi would hit on female employees, telling them he wanted them to marry them, attempting to kiss them, putting his arms around them. This was in plain view of other male employees, including supervisors who had to intervene and pull him off female employees. Alex was so known to engage in harassment of female employees that his suite was nicknamed the Crosby Suite after alleged RAPIST Bill Crosby. And that should be Bill Cosby. Alex would also call female employees derogatory names at company events. Alex's conduct was known to Blizzard Entertainment executives who took no remedial measures. J. Allen Brack, president of Blizzard Entertainment, allegedly had multiple conversations with Alex about his drinking and that he had been too friendly toward female employees at company events, but gave Alex a slap on the wrist, i.e. verbal counseling, in response to these incidents. Subsequently, Alex continued to make unwanted advances toward female employees, including grabbing a female employee's hand, inviting her to his hotel room, and groping another woman. In a tragic example of harassment, and this part's going to be triggering, so you might want to skip ahead. I'll have to remind myself to post the time code on the screen. In a tragic example of the harassment that defendants allowed to fester in their offices, a female employee committed suicide while on a company trip due to a sexual relationship that he had been having with her male supervisor. The male supervisor was found by police to have bought a butt plug and lubricant on his business trip. Another employee confirmed that the deceased female employee may have been suffering from other sexual harassment at work prior to her death. Specifically, at a party before her death, male co-workers were alleged to be passing around a picture of the deceased's vagina. Alright, so one thing I want to mention, now all of these are just allegations, as I've pointed out, but still, there is no reason not to believe them. You can clearly tell that, these women just didn't get together like one day and decide we're going to sue our former employer, especially knowing how the stigma against victims of rape and how this victims of RAPE and how it's treated in popular media. Also, this is from the department, this is from the state of California that's doing the suing. Not these women. So, and as Dave indicated, there have been several attempts to resolve this without having to take legal action. And I believe in that a letter that he posted a few days ago, J. Allen Brack even acknowledged a lot of these accusations. So, really, while again these are allegations, I'm pretty sure there's no reason not to believe them. So anyway, back to our story. Alright, so we're back to retaliation and defendant's failure to prevent discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. The problems of harassment and discrimination extended to and at a minimum were known to those at the top. Defendant's former chief technology officer was observed by employees groping inebriated female employees at company events and was known for making hiring decisions based on female applicants' looks. An employee complained to Blizzard Technology president J. Allen Brack in early 2019 that employees were leaving due to sexual harassment and sexism. Specifically, this employee noted that women on the Battle.net team were subject to disparaging comments The environment was akin to working in a frat house in that women who were not huge gamers or core gamers and not into the party scene were excluded and treated as outsiders. Female employees had raised further complaints to various human resources personnel about the discrimination they had faced, including, but not limited to, complaints about unfair pay and assignments, male coworkers belittling them or minimizing their contributions, and male counterparts being promoted quickly despite their lack of seniority. Similarly, female employees also complained of the harassment they suffered, including that male coworkers groped them, that male supervisor asked them on dates, and other unwanted harassment. Defendants failed to take responsible action in responses to these complaints. Such lack of effective remedial measures were not surprising given defendants' own internal investigation into their human resource unit noted that there was a big lack of trust and that HR not held in high regard. Multiple employees noticed that their complaints were not confidential. So again, while these again are allegations, as many people will point out, HR has actually investigated and looked into these complaints. And company executives have actually spoken out to people involved, but no action was taken. In retaliation for complaints they made regarding harassment and discrimination, female employees experienced retaliation by defendants that included involuntary transfers, selection for layoffs, and denial of projects and other opportunities. Defendants found flawed policies and practices effectively allowed and continue to allow discrimination to occur in defendants' workspace. Employees have suffered and will continue to suffer harm from defendants' ongoing lawful policies and practices unless they are enjoyed by this court. Alright, so next up is the first cause of action, employment discrimination because of sex compensation. So what's this saying? So basically they're just restating the cause here. That there's been multiple allegations of sexual harassment and discrimination. There have been multiple attempts to bring this up to company management, but yet none has been addressed. So there's discrimination. This is the second cause of action. Again, discrimination, where women weren't given promotion opportunities, just lack of opportunities to move up for women, the infamous glass ceiling. And here's the third cause of action, women being retaliated against for quid pro quo based harassment, which again, and discrimination gender-based discrimination when it comes to termination. I'm not going to read through these things because we pretty much already went through these earlier, and here is the fourth cause of action. This is like when they've been discharged. This is like when they've been discharged due to sex discrimination, employment discrimination because of sex constructive discharge. So again, being denied opportunities and stuff. What is that? Now let me see. Let me look this up right quick. Constructive discharge. Okay, constructive termination or constructive dismissal. Okay, so yeah, that's when they leave because of a hostile work environment. Remember, I'm coming through this from a perspective of somebody who knows actually dick about law. Okay, so again, these causes of action, and this is the sexual harassment. These all cover things that we've already went over. 6 causes of action, that's retaliation. 7 causes of action, failure to prevent, and the 8th cause of action. So we're getting through these. And 9th cause of action. 10th cause of action. Waiver of rights forms. Now this is the one thing I don't believe that we did discuss. So that's DFEH incorporates and re-alleges all previous allegations as a fully set forth herein. Government Code Section 12953 defines as an unlawful practice an employer's violation of Section 432.6 of the Labor Code. Section 432.6 of the Labor Code states, inter alia, that a person shall not, as a condition of employment, continued employment, or receipt of any employment-related benefit, require any applicant for employment or any employee to waive any right, form, or procedure for a violation of any provision of the California Fair Employment and Housing Act or this code, including the right to file and pursue a civil action or a complaint with or otherwise notify any state agency or public prosecutor, law enforcement agency, or any court or governmental entity of any alleged violation. Based on information and belief, DFEH alleges that defendants required female employees to waive rights, forms, or procedures as a condition of employment, continued employment, or receipt of any employment-related benefit, including, but not limited to, an adjustment payment or severance pay in violation of Labor Code 436 and Government Code Section 12953. Government Code Section 12964.5 subsection prohibits an employer, in exchange for a raise or bonus, or as a condition of employment or continued employment, to require an employee to release of a claim or right under this part. Based on information and belief, DFEH alleges that the defendant's female employees were required to sign a release of claims and or rights in exchange for underpayment of compensation or an adjustment, bonus, raise, and or employment-related benefit in violation of Government Code Section 12964.5. By engaging in the conduct set forth above, defendants acted in conscious disregard of the rights or safety of others and acted in an oppressive, fraudulent manner or malicious manner in violation of California Civil Code Section 3294. As a further result of the unlawful employment practices of defendants, the group suffered lost earnings, lost benefits, lost future employment opportunities, and other financial loss, as well as non-economic damages, including but not limited to emotional pain, humiliation, embarrassment, belittlement, sadness, and mental anguish in an amount to be determined at a trial. Unless defendants are enjoined pursuant to Government Code Section 12965C for failing to or refusing to comply with the mandates of FEHA, female employees' right to seek or hold employment free of unlawful discrimination, harassment, and retaliation will continue to be violated. By reason of continuous nature of the defendant's unlawful conduct, the continuing violations doctrine is applicable to all violations alleged herein. DFEH requests relief as herein described. I believe we're at the end. Prayer for relief, and this is basically what they're seeking from Activision Blizzard. First, about the above. If reading this correctly, I think what this means, and do feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, that they're required to waive their rights, possibly to take action, like file lawsuits or take action in their own authority against Activision Blizzard, or maybe this was some form of retaliation. Again, if I'm mistaken, because remember, I know dick about law, but obviously this is more dirty business. So prayer for relief. This looks like this is what they're seeking from Activision. Wherefore, DFEH prays that this court issue favor judgment in favor of DFEH and against defendants ordering compensatory and punitive damages, unpaid wages, liquidated damages, and other remedies and penalties available under the Equal Pay Act, injunctive relief, declaratory relief, equitable relief, including but not limited to reinstatement and or front pay, pay adjustments, back pay, lost wages and benefits, including base pay, incentive pay, pension benefits, and awards, an amount to be proven at trial, pre-judgment as required by law, attorney's fees and costs to the DFEH, and other relief the court deems to be just and proper. So this is dated July 20th, earlier this week. And a demand for jury trial, so that's pretty much it. I'm supposed to be gathering up footage for the next installment of King of Fighters. I did the vocal work earlier this week, and I'm also supposed to be typing up the script outline for this week's 5-bit news. Well, for this week's stacks. That's a weekly gaming thing, and I knew I was going to talk about this in some capacity, but I think this is just getting to be too big to ignore, and it's going to get more disgusting and more sickening as things go on. I know a lot of you are probably seeing this for the first time, and you're probably watching this and you're seeing how the sausage is made. Um, these are all allegations, um, these, but there's no reason not to believe. I mean, I know all we know is what's printed in this, but we do know that actions are taken. Actions were taken by the DFEH and people like J. Allen Brackett and even ex-Blizzard employee Mike Morhaime even addressed this themselves. And um, matter of fact, I want to actually touch upon those statements he made because, well, I have read the full complaint against Activision Blizzard and many other stories. It is all very disturbing and difficult to read. I am ashamed. It feels like everything I thought I stood for has been washed away. What's worse, but even more important, real people have been harmed, and some women had terrible experiences. I was at Blizzard for 28 years. During that time, I tried very hard to create an environment that was safe and welcoming for people of all genders and backgrounds. I knew that was not perfect, but clearly we were far from that goal. The fact that so many women were mistreated and were not supported means we let them down. In addition, we did not succeed in making it feel safe for people to tell their truth. It is no consolation that other companies have faced similar challenges. I wanted us to be different, better. Harassment and discrimination exist. They are prevalent in our industry. It is the responsibility of leadership to keep all employees feeling safe, supported, and treated equitably, regardless of gender and background. It is the responsibility of leadership to stamp out toxicity and harassment in any form, across all levels of the company. To the Blizzard women who experience any of these things, I'm extremely sorry that I failed you. I realize that these are just words, but I want to acknowledge that the women who had awful experiences, I hear you, I believe you, and I am so sorry to have let you down. I want to hear your stories, if you are willing to share them. As a leader in our industry, I can and will use my influence to help drive positive change into combat misogyny, discrimination, and harassment wherever I can. I believe we can do better, and I believe the gaming industry can be a place where women and minorities are welcome, included and supported, recognized, rewarded, and ultimately unimpeded for the opportunity to make the types of contribution that all of us join in this industry to make. I want the mark I leave on this industry to be something that we can all be proud of. Now I'm going to read the stuff from J. Allen Brack. Okay, here's his statement. Alright, now I'm trying to say, okay, here it is. Alright, so, apparently J. Allen Brack had sent out a email earlier, but I want to find his statement. I probably should have pulled this up earlier. Okay, here's the full statement that Activision Blizzard, yada yada yada. I don't care about that. Where is it? So, let's see, where is it at? Alright, so yeah, here's Jason Schreier. He's responsible for most of his leaking. Hello, Blizzard. I personally have a lot of emotions coming out of yesterday, and I know you do too. The allegations and hurt of current and former employees are extremely troubling. I know many of you would like to receive more clarity. While I can't comment on the specifics of the case as it's an open investigation, what I can say is that the behavior detailed in the allegations is completely unacceptable. It goes without saying it is completely unacceptable for anyone in the company to face discrimination or harassment. It goes with saying that everyone should feel safe working here, whether we are on campus, at BlizzCon, or working from home. It goes with saying it takes courage to come forward, and all claims brought to the company are investigated by internal and, when needed, external investigators. We take these claims very seriously. Claims can be made without fear of retaliation, and many times I attended them personally along with other leaders. Now here's the part where I just don't get right now, where I'm just not feeling. Stepping back, when I talked with Bobby about taking this job, one of the first things I mentioned was revered saint of the Brack household, Gloria Steinem. Growing up, the value of women as equals, understanding the work that had been done for equal treatment, and the fact that there was still much to do were common themes. This is just one of the reasons why the fight for equality is incredibly important to me. People with different backgrounds, views, and experiences are essential for Blizzard, our teams, and our player community. I disdain bro culture and spent my entire career fighting against it. Iterating on our culture with the same intensity that we bring to our games is imperative. With our values acting as our North Star, this is some of the most important work we do both as professionals and human beings. A company is more than a legal construct that exists as a piece of paper in a filing cabinet in Delaware. The people that work at the company make it what it is through their actions and creations. Each of us has a role in maintaining a place of safety for one another, and it is up to each of us to continue to craft the Blizzard we want and to commit to doing our part in keeping Blizzard great, but always aspiring for more. The leadership team and I will be meeting with many of you to answer questions and discuss how we can move forward. In addition, I want you to know that you can talk to any manager, any HR manager, any manager of the legal team, or to anyone on the executive team, including Hey Jay. If you feel more comfortable talking to someone outside of Blizzard or prefer to be anonymous, you may contact the Way to Play Integrity line. I feel angry, sad, and a host of other emotions, but I also feel grateful to work alongside a set of leaders and thousands of employees who join me in their commitment to continuous improvement. Thank you, Blizzard. Okay, now, see, I'm just doubtful about how genuine both these people are in their apologies. We've seen this before from Activision and Blizzard. Like with the whole Blitzchung thing like a year ago. They apologized. They basically gave this basic non-apology, and while Blitzchung was still suspended, and while his prize money was still taken from him, and they even suspended like the two broadcasters who had nothing to do with what he was saying. They even like put disguises on so like they couldn't be identified. Also, we go back to it, and he mentions that you can talk to any manager, HR partner, or any member, but motherfucker, these people did just that, and nothing was addressed. You're only saying something, as far as a couple weeks ago, like I mentioned earlier, California was trying to bring it to a resolution without having to go to take legal action. So, are you saying this now, or are you only saying it because it's convenient, because it's out in the open now and it's a public issue and you know people are going to be covering this? I mean, not just in gaming. You got mainstream media sources that are going to be looking at this if they aren't doing so already. And like, I want to like believe how genuine Mike Morhaime is about this. The fact is, like, he was a part of Blizzard while this shit was going on. So again, how genuine is this going to be? And throughout all of this, the one person we really haven't heard from is Activision CEO Bobby Kotick. I mean, where is he standing on this? Is he going to step up and take action, or is he going to try to sweep under the rug, or is he just going to throw his people under the bus? So basically, like, like earlier this year, I predicted that another company was going to be caught in a big scandal, and I hate to be right, but, once again, Now here's a statement from Activision Blizzard, and I really don't feel like reading through it, because it's basically the same shit that these guys are already saying. What they're doing is they're saying the right thing, but what it comes to at the end of the day is doing the right thing. And Um, I'm just not seeing that. Again, the only reason they're even addressing this now is because it's now a public issue. It's been dragged into a public, and you're being sued. It could potentially cost you millions, if not billions. But why are we really surprised about this company? This is the same CEO that gave himself a bonus while firing dozens of his own workers, despite his company doing record profits that year. Now, really, on a personal level, though, when I made this, when I started doing this channel, really, I did it because I love video games. I wanted to focus on the old school stuff. I wanted to focus on the indie developers that are doing unique things, or even some of the mainstream stuff that I like. I wanted to concentrate on things that don't get a lot of shine. Like, I don't want to be caught up in a lot of this, like, this NXT drama and stuff. But, like, the thing is, me as a content creator, or me as a voice on YouTube, it's not even that much, because, really, my parents, like, they were big into social justice. They worked with the PTA. My mother worked with the community. She was a teacher. She worked with special ed students. My grandfather, my grandparents, my grandmother on my dad's side, she worked. She was one of the first members of the PTA in Akron, and was a big instrument when it came to getting people registered to vote and getting people involved in school. So, like, seeing this injustice going on in a hobby that I like, like, I don't like seeing stuff like this, but, like, me being who I am and me coming from the background I come from, I'd be doing injustice to them if I didn't speak my piece on it. And, like, as of right now, I know I only got like 86 subscribers, and I'm not even sure, like, how many of them even watch me on a regular basis. I'm not sure how many views this video is going to get. I'm lucky. My biggest video is less than 1 minute long video I did about a Warcraft figure that I was showing off. And it's only like less than 1,000 views, but I know I don't got the audience of guys like, say, an Angry Joe, or a Yonya, or a Jim Sterling, or a Sid Alpha, but I got a platform. People can see my platform, and as long as I have this platform, I got a responsibility to speak out against this kind of stuff. Because this is something that's affecting women. And people talk about, don't put politics and social issues in gaming. Just stick to games and shit. But these women who are harassed, and even in some cases some men who are harassed, I'm sure they would have liked to concentrate on games too, the games that they develop. Imagine going to a place with the pedigree of Blizzard. We know Warcraft, StarCraft, Overwatch. Imagine going to work at this place thinking you made it, but then it's this shit. You're going through sexual harassment, you being bullied, you being passed up for promotions. Like, that could definitely kill your faith in the gaming industry. And the worst part about it is, it's not just, one of the worst parts anyway, it's not just Activision and Blizzard. We're talking about Blizzard, but where else is this happening at Activision? Matter of fact, where is this happening in the industry? You know about the Ubisoft scandal. Who else is going to pop up with some dirty laundry? One of my favorite publishers and developers is Capcom. I don't know how to be able to deal if some shit came out about them, or what if some shit came out about Namco or Nintendo, or what else am I thinking? Even like Square Enix and shit. And secondly, I think the other worst thing is that, like, people are just going to try to throw this under the rug or even dismiss it because Blizzard makes their favorite games, and apparently to them, that gives them a pass somehow. Um, Same with Ubisoft. Like, they make Far Cry, they make Watch Dogs. And before I go even further, I'm not even telling people to not buy their games anymore or not play their games and stuff. Um, I mean, if you enjoy these things and you view it as um, just you supporting the people who developed the game rather than the company behind it, then more power to you. I mean, um, personally, like StarCraft was one of the first games I played when I got into PC gaming. I loved StarCraft. I love Warcraft 3. And even with Ubisoft, I even play Call of Duty from time to time. And with Ubisoft, I love the Far Cry series. I play some of the Assassin's Creed games. I really like Watch Dogs 3. Um, so I'm not going to tell you to not play their game, especially if it's a game that you already played for. But if you're not going to put any money in their hands or support them any further, like don't buy their games, don't buy any DLC, don't buy any microtransactions, I totally agree with that. If you want to, for the end of the day, like these games are about having fun. And like, if you like these games and you want to play them, then I'm not going to shame you for it. But now that you're seeing how the sausage is made, then I, if you want to boycott, I'm totally understand. And once again, I know that people are going to see me as doing this just for like online clout or simping or whatever, because I know I don't got that big audience that other content creators have. But at the same time, I'm out here. You can see me. You're probably even watching this video right now. So, so while I'm out here, like while I'm a part of this hobby, I feel like if I don't speak out against it, not only am I doing this disservice to my parents and my family, but but I'd also be doing service to like the gaming community at large because I participate in this. I participate in this hobby as a content creator. It's somebody who speaks on the stuff that they put out, and somebody who speaks like at the very least, I'm speaking on the stuff that they put out, and I use their material to put out my own material. Um, so if I'm gonna like base my platform off this stuff, off these things in this hobby that I chose, then I got this obligation to speak out against um against the bad elements into it, whether it's sexism, racism, or anything else. Um, so really, but if you do plan, then it's plenty of alternatives out there. If you don't want to play Diablo, there's a Torchlight, there's Titan Quest. I think there's Path of Exile. That's the same style of game, I believe. If you don't want to play Overwatch, then you can play Paladins, which personally I think is a better game anyway. It's better than Fortnite, but if you want an alternative to Overwatch, that's the perfect alternative, and it's free. I know it kind of sounds like I'm promoting shit, but hey, if you don't want to play Call of Duty, then you can play Battlefield. Um, or you know what? Better yet, like instead of playing these mainstream stuff, play some indie shit. It's plenty of dope indie titles that do stuff that's different. That's why I've been trying to look at a lot of this stuff. Um, like for instance, check out Carrion. I looked at that last year. You can also put if you got Xbox Game Pass, and again I know I'm plugging this shit. There's plenty of indie stuff on there you can check out. It's plenty of indie stuff on Steam. Like to me, it's like indie hip hop. You got to go out there and look for it. Plus it's really easy to find. There's a lot of good stuff that goes against the mainstream, and you're supporting development teams when you support indies. So you're not supporting some scumbag corporation or multimillionaire. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. Again, you're all seeing how the sausage is made. This isn't even about the sausage itself. I take that back. This is about some of the dirty shit that goes along. You probably learned something about the industry and how scummy it can get. But if you got anything to add, then let me know what you think in the comments. Also, if you did work at Blizzard, and I know this is a long shot here because I really don't know who all watches these things. But if you did work at Blizzard, and you want to reach out to me with a story, then feel free to direct message me or get at me somehow. So again, comment if you comment and let me know what you think. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon. That way you'll be the first to know when I put out new stuff, and it won't be as negative as this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get ready to work on a Shark Tank video that I got coming out later this week, and of course the Stacks news. But until next time, have a great rest of the weekend, and I'm Audi 51,000 G, Ken folk.